All right, let's dive in. We spend a ton of time figuring out how our data's connected, right? But what if the real gold mine is in what's not connected? That's what we're talking about today. How to find those hidden, totally isolated groups inside any network. So, if you live and breathe SQL, this question is probably hitting close to home. You know, a join is awesome for finding things that are directly linked, but what about the exact opposite? How in the world do you find those little islands of data? You know, the cliques or clusters that have absolutely no connection to anything else. And yeah, this really hits the nail on the head. Look, relational databases are amazing, but they just weren't designed for this friend of a friend of a friend kind of problem. Trying to chase down those long connection chains in SQL, it gets messy, it gets slow, and trying to prove a total lack of connection across a whole group, that's even tougher. So, the trick here is to just reframe the whole problem. Let's hit pause on rows and tables for a second. Instead, let's see our data for what it really is, a big interconnected network. As soon as you start thinking in terms of nodes and relationships, the whole problem starts to unlock. And for this job, there's a perfect tool. It's called the Connected Components Algorithm. Seriously, it's designed to do exactly this. Take a big, messy graph and just slice it up into these neat, self-contained subgroups. The rule is simple. Inside any one of these groups, you can get from any point to any other point. There's always a path. And how it works is honestly super simple. You just pick a random starting point, any node will do, and you start exploring. You follow every single path you can find. Everything you touch, that's your first group, your first component. Then you just find a node you haven't visited yet, and you do the exact same thing again. You just keep going until every last node has been put into a group. I love this metaphor. It's like the algorithm is an explorer, automatically mapping out every single island in your giant ocean of data. Each island it finds is one component, totally separate from all the others. And what you get at the end is this beautifully clear map of your network. Something that looked like just one big, tangled mess of data is suddenly broken down into its real underlying parts. So in this example here, the algorithm found 3 distinct groups. Instantly, you have this high-level view of your data structure that was honestly totally invisible before. Okay, that's the concept, but let's get real. What's a practical, real-world use case for this? I mean, theory is cool, but what problems does this actually solve? Oh, the applications are all over the place. Think about social networks. You can instantly find those distinct friend groups, those cliques. Or in IT operations, you could spot a server that's been accidentally cut off from the rest of the network. You could even use it in finance to find rings of fraudulent activity, or in logistics to see where your supply chain is broken. And this quote here, it perfectly captures that social network idea. We all do this in our heads, right? We have our work friends, our college buddies, our family. Well, the Connected Components algorithm basically lets you find those same organic social circles, but it does it automatically, just by looking at the connection data. That makes total sense for things like mutual friendships. But what about one-way streets? You know, like when you follow a celebrity on a social network, they're probably not following you back. Or when my website links out to a big news site, they're not linking back to me. How does the algorithm handle that? Right, and that question exposes a little limitation in the basic algorithm. Because it's just looking for any path, it kind of ignores the direction of the arrow. So to really deal with these one-way relationships properly, we need a slightly different, more specific tool. And that tool is called strongly connected components. The name gives it away, right? The rule for being in the same group is way stricter. It's not enough that you can get from point A to point B. You also have to be able to get from B back to A. A full round trip has to be possible. So let's break it down. You've got your standard connected components. That's for undirected graphs, or when you just don't care about direction. It's great for finding those general clusters, the islands. Then you have strongly connected components. This one is specifically for directed graphs, and its whole job is to find those super tight-knit cliques where every relationship is reciprocal. Yeah, honestly, if you just remember this one phrase, you've got it. It's all about mutual, two-way streets. No unrequited connections allowed in this club. Okay, let's bring it full circle. Back to the original question. If you're coming from a database background, why should you even care about these graph algorithms? What's the real payoff for learning this stuff? The bottom line is this. Thinking in graphs lets you see the patterns that tables just can't show you. It reveals the big picture structure of your data.
It lets you answer those really tricky questions about reachability, not just direct links. And this isn't some obscure niche technique. It's absolutely essential for doing any kind of serious network analysis, whether it's in security, social science, you name it.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Think about the data you work with. I guarantee there are hidden groups in there. What isolated customer segments, what secret cliques, what forgotten partition systems are just sitting there, waiting for you to find them? Hey, if this explainer helped things click for you, do me a favor and share it with a colleague. And of course, subscribe for more breakdowns like this one. Thanks so much for tuning in.